This is WFYI News Now. It's March 21st, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, Big Brothers Big Sisters launches a campaign to address their shortage of mentors. Indiana might expand a law to shield more young people from underage drinking charges. And local impact from recent executive orders targeting DEI and gender-affirming care.
It may mean that we have to turn people away that have no other options in the community. We don't know the total impact yet, and it's continually evolving.
Those stories coming up, but first. The state of Indiana had its largest increase in population since 2008. WFYI's Samantha Horton reports Central Indiana had some of the largest increases, with immigrants being a significant portion of that growth.
In 2024, of the roughly 44,000 residents Indiana added, more than 70% was from international migration. That includes foreign-born coming to the U.S., people migrating to and from Puerto Rico, and U.S. citizens moving in and out of the country. Matt Kinghorn is a senior demographer with the Indiana Business Research Center at IU Kelley School of Business. He says Marion County saw the largest influx of immigrants in the state.
Marion County had a net inflow of just a little over 10,000 immigrants last year.
Kinghorn says immigration is expected to be reduced in 2025. The analysis also found that Hancock and Boone counties were the two fastest growing areas for a second year in a row. The Research Center provides annual analysis of population data provided by the U.S. Census Bureau. I'm Samantha Horton.
Big Brothers Big Sisters says it needs more mentors. As WFYI's Jeremy Rubin reports, the group hopes a partnership with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway can address its growing waitlist.
Big Brothers Big Sisters pairs volunteer mentors with young people to provide support. But Darcy Palmer, CEO of the Central Indiana branch, says over 1,200 young people are currently on a wait list.
That number represents, more than 1,000 really amazing kids, mostly boys, who are waiting for someone to come spend time with them and really give them a chance to learn and grow.
Big Brothers Big Sisters will partner with Indianapolis Motor Speedway on a volunteer campaign with a goal to recruit 500 mentors before the Indy 500. The group has until May 25th to reach its goal. I'm Jeremy Rubin.
Indiana is a stroke of the governor's pen away from expanding its Lifeline Law to shield more young people from underage drinking charges. Indiana Public Broadcasting's Brandon Smith reports the House approved the bill Thursday.
Current law provides immunity from underage drinking charges to someone who seeks police or medical help for another person, but it doesn't provide that same immunity to the underage drinker experiencing a medical issue themselves. Republican Representative Wendy McNamara says the bill she sponsors closes that gap.
Under the Lifeline Law, immunity applies to offenses such as public intoxication, minor possession, minor consumption, and minor transportation of alcohol.
Democratic Representative Carrie Hamilton says her son has been a resident advisor at Indiana University the last couple of years.
He believes that this bill will absolutely save lives in Indiana.
The House voted 87-3 to send the bill to the governor's desk. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Brandon Smith at the State House.
And for our final story today, recent executive orders targeting DEI and gender-affirming care are impacting nonprofit funding. WFYI's Zach Castle reports how one Indianapolis organization's funding has already been disrupted by recent policy changes.
The Damien Center has been working to end HIV in Indianapolis since it was founded in 1987 amid the AIDS crisis. Alan Witchey is the CEO of the organization. He says they are feeling the effects of the cuts.
One day you're receiving a notice that you have to comply. The next you're being told it's on hold.
Witchey says they've lost one federal contract, but were able to get it reinstated. It's for HIV testing and care management for the transgender community. The nonprofit also lost a contract with the state health department for mental health counseling for the LGBTQ community. It cannot be reinstated. Witchey says they're facing other potential cuts as well.
It may mean that we have to turn people away that have no other options.
I'm Zach Castle.
The Damien Center says it expects more contracts to end in the future. That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Drew Daudelin and Zach Bundy, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you liked today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Monday.